Hey, how's it going? It's Walsh here, sick as always. Welcome to episode 4 of the Keepers of the Flame League here on Ruthless SSF. My plan right now is to hopefully end the day, or at least start tomorrow morning by being in yellow maps. I really want to get my Uber Lab done. I don't think Barkskin is going to make that big of a difference, but at this point, any defensive layer I can get is a good one. Not that I would consider Barkskin like a full defensive layer, but it definitely helps. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the video, and I'll see you near the end. I've been debating maybe trying to farm like Merc Lab to try and get the support gems I need, but I just can't bring myself to do it. Like, you could so easily spend like 3 hours doing Merc Lab and just never even seeing the like random support into another support, let alone actually getting one that you want. And sure, you can make the argument that yeah, the odds of seeing it in a map are probably just as unlikely, but the big difference is I can map at the same time. When I'm just doing like, farming lab, I'm not mapping and I'm only trying to get those gems, which is just such a waste of time. So as much as I want to try going for like multi-strike or LE damage with attacks or anything like that, I'm just going to stick to maps. I'm going to try to finish out my tier 4s here. I think I have one more tier 4 to go after this one, and I think I have like two more tier 5s. But I might just jump up because I have like, I think three, maybe even four tier 6 maps. And like I said earlier, I really want to get my Uber Lab done. I just leveled up, which means I can take the Tincture cooldown recovery node, which is going to be really nice. It's going to give me borderline 100% uptime with my Tincture, which is going to feel incredible. Now, it's not going to be 100% uptime if I'm not hitting stuff, but I'm not going to have it up anyway if I'm not hitting stuff. And completed my final tier 4. I think I need like two or three more white maps. I'm completely done them, which is always a nice little milestone to hit, because then you can just start focusing exclusively on yellow maps and higher, which is always fantastic. I did complete my first yellow map, and it did drop me a pretty interesting shield. I'm probably never going to use it, but it is pretty cool seeing it. I haven't found that shield very often. And went and completed another tier 6. My single target DPS is still not incredible, but again, just the fact that I can borderline perma-freeze all the map bosses makes everything so much easier. It's so comfortable. 90% of the time, just standing there watching the boss slowly die. It would be really nice if I could get more damage, but I have no complaints. With this next map completion right here, I can finally take the last shaping node, so I'll be 32% chance for my maps to go +1, which is a pretty big deal. And honestly, at this point, I'm kind of just like permanently doing yellows. I haven't done a white map in quite a while. Granted, it hasn't been that long, but still, feels really good. Went and did my Maven invitation again. Pretty simple, no problems. I would really like, if I get an Exalted Orb, I think there's a very realistic chance I just slam this Claw. Because if I hit any flat Elemental, or ideally hit flat Fizz, my damage is going to feel so much better. But of course, the biggest thing I could get is a multi-strike. Multi-strike would be incredible. Some more boats coming in. I have two going at once now, which feels really good. Now that I have enough farmers to actually maintain the crops, I do still need to upgrade them more, and I still need to get more, of course, because you really want to send all 5 types of food. You don't really want to send like 2 or 3, but for now, it's pretty good. I got my first offering to the goddess, and we hit level 82. I was going to wait a little while to do my Uber Lab, but I figured I might as well try. I mean, I'm not like super tanky or anything, but like I said, freezing is pretty cool. I could not freeze a Zara, but I had no problems, completed it. I also got a Divine Font extra use, which is a pretty big deal, especially in Ruthless. So the first thing I got was a support gem swap, and we got Fortify. I mean, it's not the highest DPS support I could have gotten, but I am very happy to have that. Now I can actually have Fortify on top of my Bark Skin, on top of my Evasion. Granted, my Evasion's pretty terrible right now, but it's all adding up. So just a reminder, I'm allowed to reroll at any time, but I cannot roll a new Ascendancy until I complete a red map on this character, which I'm not really sure how realistic that is, but we're going to find out. It might take me a while, but at the same time, as I'm leveling up and gaining slightly better gear and more supports, the character is just getting so much stronger that I think realistically I could probably do like tier 12s, maybe even tier 13s on this build. I highly doubt I could do tier 14 without actually getting like some pretty decent gear. But all the breaches, I pretty much succeed like 99% of the time. The only time I usually fail is if it's like a really bad layout and I'm not fast enough to get around. But I also do have Blood Rage now, which does give me a ton of damage. The only problem is when there's huge gaps in mobs, I kind of just degen to death, which is pretty annoying. And I don't have enough flash charges to actually just like permanently maintain my health. I got an Ancestral Call, which does pretty much nothing for me. I'm definitely not going to put that on, but it's a good gem to have if I roll another character that's melee. Ooh, Inspiration. That is, Inspiration's a pretty good gem. Not for this character, but I've been finding way less unique things for the new Breach mechanic, which is fine. I mean, during my campaign, I got like, I think like 10 or 12, so I don't know if they just got ninja nerfed or, RNG is just being RNG, but hey, chance to poison. Good, whatever though. It's fine. I got a ton of uniques. I'm really looking forward to getting some of the more like interesting Foulborn uniques. I'm hoping to get one no one's seen yet, but we'll see what happens. I am now at 40% chance for a +1, which makes me very happy. I got another really good level unique, a Gorebreaker, so if I ever reroll another melee character, which there's a pretty good chance, I have some pretty decent gear for it. Killed another Breach boss. I'm actually really surprised at how well I killed those. Again, I know I keep bringing it up, but Freeze. I love Freeze. I love cold damage. If I get a Herald of Ice, I'm probably going to be in heaven. Like I have Herald of Ash right now, which is helping a little bit, but could you imagine this character with Herald of Ice? Oh my god. The other big Ruthless character, like, obviously Grace would be interesting. I don't think I would use it right now, though, because I'd have to drop Purity of Elements. But if I could get something like Arctic Armor, my character would feel even tankier. Like, I'm basically standing still all the time if I'm DPSing. So, if I had Arctic Armor, I would just be ridiculous. I'd have Fortify, I'd have my little, bark skin stuff. And then if I ever get, like, legitimate evasion, like, 20k plus, I'll be in heaven. Another tier 7 done here, working on the pack size wheel. I got a key rack mission, which is always amazing. And I gotta tell you, having the ships coming in to give me some currency on top of the breach mechanic, everything is looking really nice. Even though I'm kind of slow at killing bosses, I'm just having a really comfortable time. And I'm really glad I rerolled into this character because the Wander was just not doing it for me. I'm almost thinking Hypothermia would also be really good on this character, but I'm not really sure. I haven't looked at POV basically at all. I've just been kind of winging it a little bit. But I will say this. At first, I was saying I don't recommend this character, and maybe I still shouldn't for a League starter, but it's just so fun to play, even though it's not especially powerful. I kind of feel like I gotta recommend it. I like Wild Strike. It's pretty fun. Completed another Maven invite, and I finished a tier 9, which was my 50th completion, which means I now have 2 trees. I'm not really going to mess with that right now, but just to give you a quick, summary of what I'm going to do with it, I'm going to take Strong Boxes and Harbinger on my second tree, and my plan is when I inevitably re-roll at some point, I can use that second tree when they're in lower tier maps. Ooh, that's a pretty nice Demon Horn. Not perfect, but I mean, hey, +1 in flat damage, we're happy. But yeah, the second tree will be nice for doing lower tier maps to try to get a bunch of mainly gem cutters, strong boxes is what I'm looking for. The first tier 10 I did actually dropped me a tier 11 map, which means if I complete that map, I'm allowed to reroll anytime I want. Ooh, wait, hold on. Oh, uh, yeah, I would say that has potential to be a reroll. On top of that, I also got a pretty decent pseudo 5-link pair of gloves. They're not really strong, but this early in the league, even that level 5 conk effect will give me a nice boost to damage, at least for now. Yeah, now I have to really consider if I want to reroll. I kind of don't want to do it yet, but I'll talk more about that later. But I will say, I love that axe. I have tried farming that axe in past leagues, and now that there's a super version of it that does different stuff, I'm even more inclined to want to roll this character, but I'm going to wait a little while. Anyway, I had my Black Star fight, and if you look at the floor, you can see something is wrong. I died to the Ice Orb, and when I came back, the floor just stopped moving. I don't know if this is a new feature or if my game bugged, but I did not like it. I did end up dying a few times, but I did complete the Black Star. It was especially difficult because I couldn't figure out where the floor was. But I did have one portal left over, but saying that, we came pretty close to failing it, but whatever, I got it. I've completed the red map, and at any time, I'm now allowed to reroll my next character, which I don't know if I'm going to do it today, I might do it tomorrow. There is another character I really want to try, but I gotta say, since I dropped that axe, I'm very likely going to play a melee character. I'm not really sure what I'm going to go for yet, but I can tell you right now, it's not going to be like Earthshatter or something like that. I mean, specifically not Earthshatter, I don't know what else I'm going to play, but I'm kind of excited. It's kind of crazy to me that not only am I playing a Warden and using Tinctures and just not having a bad time, but I'm also using Wild Strike, which is a skill I've wanted to use for quite a while. Now, I will say this, if you're looking at this and you're like, oh, Wild Strike is actually really strong, maybe I should roll it. it's not that strong. I will say it's really fun. I'm having a really good time, and as you can see, like, this character is doing a great job. I have 52 completions. We've done a red map. I just did my black star fight, even though it was bugged out. And I gotta say, it's not the worst thing to league start with, but, like, I will also say that I kind of got lucky. I have a really nice claw. It's not necessarily, like, high DPS, but it does have 1.9 attack speed, which is absolutely ridiculous. And as you can see in this map here, we have 36% of life as extra ES, and I'm having no problem killing the rares or clearing through the breach. So yeah, overall, really enjoying this character, but really high chance I reroll. I think ultimately what I'm going to do to decide when I reroll is if I get like another one or two support gems that I could actually use with that axe. But anyway, I got Vicious Projectiles, which is pretty cool. Completed another tier 10. It just feels so comfortable mapping. I know I keep saying it, but I really enjoy this feel of Wild Strike where you're just kind of attacking and everything gets hit, even from really far away. It almost feels like a spellcaster that's using a strike skill more than it feels like just playing a melee character. Ooh, 2 oils. Also, I totally forgot about the quality of life change for Blight. So now if you click on one thing in the cluster, they all open. That is fantastic. Got a triple map drop, which always makes my soul very happy. Completed another tier 10, and I just need one more node, and I have the complete pack size wheel, which, if you don't know, is a pretty big deal while you're mapping. Pack size in general is just more loot, so it's always a good time. Completed another breach and got a scattering report. I just need to get a Kirak now. So the more I think about it, I'm kind of not ready to reroll. And that's not something I say very often. Warden is an ascendancy I pretty much never play. I think this is my first league really playing Warden at all, let alone like going all in on tinctures and stuff like that. So I kind of want to enjoy it for a while. I'm not really struggling. I really doubt this character is going to be able to get my first two Watchstones unless I get like multi-strike and LE damage with attacks and a 5-link or something like that. But even if it can't, like, I'm just really enjoying mapping with it. I'm having no problems doing all my breaches. I die very rarely ever since I got Fortify. The main thing that does kill me is running really rippy maps with like minus res and stuff like that. And on top of that, the number one thing that has killed me since getting Fortify is Blood Rage. Because like half the time I have no regen unless I'm hitting something. So when I'm just traveling across the map, my health is always at like half or worse, which is pretty annoying. I'll probably end up like taking it off for the most part. But other than that, I pretty much never die. It's just so comfortable mapping. Like, as you see there, I'm not doing tons of damage, but I just freeze stuff. I'm really tanky, and I'm having a good time. With that being said, I completed another map and got my pack size wheel completely finished, which is very nice. I'm probably going to move up and just get more +1 chance, but first I need to get my map drops to 30%. Right now they're only 25, well, 26 after this map. It's a little annoying that like I have a bunch of maps, which does make me happy, but I'm still missing one white map, which normally I like to get those done before I move into yellows, but hopefully Kirak will get that for me eventually. Well, anyway, I need 3 more points, I believe, and then I will be done with the map drop chance. Killed another breach boss on a pretty rippy map, so pretty happy about that. And didn't really get any good womb graphs or whatever, but I got a little ring. I mean, I might as well waste some money on it. Alright, waste money I did. Hey, made us far in the video. I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I am level 82, 54% of the way to 83, and I'm just having a great time with this character. I haven't really changed any of my gear around. Getting the Fortify from my Uber Lab was a pretty big upgrade. It didn't necessarily give me a ton of damage, but Fortify feels so good on this character. The big dream, of course, is getting multi-strike or even LE damage with attacks. Either of those would be a pretty big deal. Faster attacks is fine. Like, I could definitely have a worse support here, but I could also have something much better. But I am not complaining. I basically have a 4-link, basically a 3.5-link, so pretty good for a league start. In terms of my gear, the biggest upgrade would probably have to be my weapon. I mean, it's going to be pretty difficult because I'm so used to the 1.9 attacks that, like, it's going to be really hard to downgrade that even a little bit. So I think realistically, if I miraculously get an Exalted Orb, I am almost certainly going to slam this Claw, especially now that, like, I have a backup weapon I could use for a different character. Like, this is a crazy axe. Obviously, the DPS is not, like, insane because it does have the, reduced attack speed, but it's still pretty damn good, and the extra Warcry exertion is pretty ridiculous and pretty hard to get any other way. And, of course, exerted attacks deal 200% increased damage is just fantastic. But yeah, now that I have that, I would feel pretty comfortable exalting this claw. I know it's not perfect. Like, it has dex, which is a dead. Well, it's not dead, but it's not a good roll. The attack speed could be a higher roll. The cold damage could be higher. But that LE damage to attacks is actually pretty helpful. Not as good as a bunch of flat fizz, which is what we would be hoping for if I slammed it, but still pretty good. After doing yellow maps pretty much all night last night and most of the morning today, I'm pretty broke. I have no alks, and I've been or not valley, sorry. I've been vendoring a lot of the uniques I have, so a lot of those are gone. I'm trying to be a little conservative and not or sorry, I keep saying val, and not vendor everything, but I have vendored quite a bit. I even considered vendoring my duplicate honor home, but I don't know. I just don't want to do that yet. 5 chaos left, so on the bright side, not having Alex kind of gives me the excuse to just chill and do some mapping while I think about my next character. And I'm going to be honest with you, if you know me at all, you know I'm a sucker for stupid, unique axes, or just honestly any unique weapon in general, but especially melee ones. But like, this is like a legitimate weapon, and it looks really fun to use. And when was the last time I had an Ulnatal's Kiss, let alone actually rolled it? So it's going to be pretty hard for me to resist playing this. Other than that, I don't really have any gear for a reroll, which is a big thing that's stopping me. I do have some like random stuff I could use, but honestly, I'm glad I have the excuse because I'm loving this character. I just don't want to stop playing it yet. As far as my maps are concerned, I'm really happy with my progress. I have pretty much every white map done. I just need a single tier 5 and I'm completely done with them. And I went from 0 yellow maps completed to having just a whole bunch of them done. I mean, I only have like 2 tier 10s left. Like, look at this. We made some pretty insane progress last night. We now have 60 points. My tree is looking really good. 42% chance for +1, 28% more maps, increased maps found, and we have the entire pack size wheel. Things are looking pretty good for me right now. I think what I'm going to do is what I usually do. Take these last 2 points here, and then go on the outer rim here, and just take all the way down this side, all the way down to this side. I believe that gives you 70% increased, or sorry, 70% chance for a map to go +1. I don't remember exactly, but it's something around there. My second tree, like I was talking about earlier, it'll have strong boxes on it, and I'm going to go for Harbingers again. Harbingers felt really nice last league because you get all the like Horizon orbs and stuff, but like I took it way too early, but I still think they're pretty nice. On top of that, Ancient Orbs are really fun to use, and of course there are some like, if you're really dreaming, the Harbinger uniques can be really janky and fun, but I don't expect to get any of those. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.